Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at the fantastic Mount Panorama circuit, Bathurst, Australia, for round 5 of the GT3 Masters. I know we're a bit early, but I've been watching it in practice, and quite frankly, I think all you guys watching from home should be watching this just to watch them all making their mistakes now rather than in the race, because there's been some spectacular driving and not so great driving as we're watching Nemanja Manojlović go through the mountain, through the dipper and down towards Forest's Elbow. Just a minute or so of practice to go. They've all had their driver briefing and more and more cars coming out on track or having their last visit to the restroom. A 2-hour race tonight, don't forget, so the guys will be making sure they're not only fully hydrated but also fully dehydrated as well at the same time. Empty those bladders. There'll be a few. They don't have to empty their bowels, that'll happen during the race I'm sure, but bladders are a completely different thing. And there you go, you see Nemanja just getting it wrong. So many different little corners on this circuit that look easy and aren't, and then so many corners on this circuit that look really difficult and are. So plenty to watch tonight, so make sure you've got your tea and crumpets or your bud and popcorn and whatever else you want to snack on for the race as they just get ready for qualifying. While we're doing that, let's take a look at the series standing, shall we? Really close at the moment up the top of the field. Bram Deprataire and Armando de Kaiser for Team WRT really smashing it out at the top of the tree there. You can see 281 versus 278. Those two will be fighting right the way through to the end, I should imagine, for the crown. Not far behind though, waiting to pick up any pieces that fall their way, and this is the race where they could well fall. David Dhoore and Cliff Bulcke for Intense Racing currently sitting that team in second, and those drivers sitting there third and fourth. Cliff Bulcke, remember, champion of the last GT3 Masters, the 5th running of it then. This is now the 6th, so Cliff Bulcke there carrying the number 1 on his car, but currently sitting 4th in the championship and looking to improve from there. Max Beyer, who was fantastic last time out at Kyle Army, finished 2nd there with 2:16. Jack Camaletto, James Mead. Jack has been absolutely on it, just not at the top pace of the guys above him, but has been very consistent, and expect to see a good showing from him here at Bathurst. It's one of his favourite circuits, and indeed winner of this event in GT3 Masters 5. James Mead has been so quick this series, but not had the best of luck. He sits there in 7, waiting to pick up some decent Haraka points tonight, I should imagine. 8-time champion Ralf Arella sit there in 8th and 192. You must be wondering what's happened to him this series. Normally fighting out for the win. He's really fighting it out for points this time round. Sat there in 8th. Robert Horvath, good showing from him, 187. Jim Britton, the other part of the crew chief team, with James Mead down there in 10th. Of course, Jim is Jim. If you're wondering, it is him. He is driving there, down there in 10th, being shown the road by his contracted partner for this series. But James has really been on it, and I think Jim's been taking a few tips off him, as his performances, I can think, have certainly improved in this series. Marvin Mackenberg in that Bentley, he's been great. Currently sat there in 11th, not 10th as it says. We've got double 10th. Oh, we have got double 10th, you're right. Rude's going to be kicking me for that. Joint 10th, Jim Britton and Marvin Mackenberg. He's put some great performances as Marvin in that Bentley. And again, one that hasn't had the best of luck, so he'll be looking for something to go his way tonight. Not really the circuit for luck though, this really. More the circuit for the least amount of bad luck, I think. Zander Hunzig Wacky Teddy there in 12th. Warak Hunt there in 13th. He's been driving really well as well. Yves van Sand in that BMW's been very quick. I know this is going to sound a little bit repetitive, but not had the best of luck. Christian Grueta. He did tell me how to pronounce this as well. He's going to kill me for this. Grueta. Christian Grueta. Have I got that right, Christian? If I haven't, that's all I've got, mate. So you have to live with that one. He's there in 15th. Teammate of Martin Mackenberg. Again, a bad luck story. Radek Pavlicek missing from today's race, and also will be missing. Was missing from round 1, so he will be down the points. And there's the other names as well. You can see them all there. I'm not going to mention you. If you want to be mentioned in the top 15, then improve your game, get some points on the board, and you get your name shouted out. You've all got it in you. I know you have. So let's do it. Okay, where are we? Let's have a look at the team championship. If I can pull it up 1 second. They're all good showing around. They've got 17 minutes of qualifying. You're not missing anything. You can see it in the background, and the times are up the side when they put them up. So I'll let you know. Team championship, there we go. So you can see WRT up at the top there with Deprataire and De Kaiser. Intense racing. Bulcke and Dhoore there in second. Crew chief Mead and Britton in third. Paradigm Shift, Pavlicek and Camaletto there in fourth. Smooth sailing Bentleys of Mackenberg and Gruta. Greasy Racing Nissan, Max Beyer and Sev Lansley. Team 77 Arella and Fillingham. Look at that down there in 7th. There's new territory for them. Not used to being down there. URL Miguel Santiago, Carew, Robert Horvath, VSB, BB Racing, and you can see all the others there as well. All putting in decent showings for their respective teams, those drivers. And last but not least, of course, the one they're all fighting for, the AM Championship. Tommy Coaston currently leading that one from Jody Barraclough. Those positions swapped last time out after a good showing from Coaston. Barraclough in second, Bosman third, Richard Vanema, good showing from him in fourth, Bergsma fifth, Manojlovic, Seb Lansley Mole, who again hasn't had much luck this series. It seems to be a staple for Andre Mole. Rude Dennis there in ninth, Sam Cocaine down in 10th. I'm sat at the bottom now, Arben Lushi, who's shown some really good pace. Just without the consistency, and unfortunately this is not that track to lack consistency on, so Arben needs to pull his finger out for this race and get it together. Okay, there we go, admin done. Let's go on with some racing, shall we? Let's go and look at last season's winner, Jack Camaletto, this time driving the Audi R8. I bet he wishes he was in that Hurricane. The Lamborghini last time round was absolutely superb here. Him and Pavlicek coming home 1 and 2 for Paradigm Shift. Should go on board with Jack so you can see what it's like to drive a lap. You can see the low sun already coming through the windscreen. That'll play a bit of havoc with them today as they go into the evening. Goes along through Skyline and down, fully committed, as you can see, getting it stopped as he dives through the S's, through the dipper and down towards Forest Elbow. Really difficult corner to get absolutely spot on, and you need to get it spot on for the run all the way down the Conrod Straight, where you carry all that speed down into the little valley, up and over the crest, and then a slight right kink into the chase, full out here, and Jack just easing off as he's looking for some room for his qualification lap, so we'll leave him to that. Let's go and find someone who's on a lap. Deprataire is currently, oh no, he was, and he's just pulled over. That's not for Bram, this one. Max Beyer's on a lap, but he's just started, so we'll do the same thing with him. We'll go on board. Let's see if I can get you some times up. We don't have any times, do we? My apologies. There we go. As if by magic. Alright, time round 7 comes around, I might actually know what I'm doing. Hello everyone in chat. Nice to see you all. Oi, oi, Savaloy. Good to have you with me, man. Make sure you get comfy tonight. 2 hours plus this qualifying, so get yourself a cushion and a pillow. We're currently 3/10 up at this stage on his lap. You can see his best lap today at 2:01.4. Got that nailed. 4/10 up, which will take him into 2:0. Ooh, just short the 2:01s or 2:020s. You can see there one of the RRL livery cars moving out of the way. I think it was Robert Horvath. There's a quick change of direction there. A big heavy Nissan manages to get through there. He's lost a 10th, Max Beyer, but he will improve. If he can keep this up, it will take him ahead of the Kaiser. There's a few 2-minute flats in the practice servers. Max goes over the line. In fact, James Mead has popped to the top of the table while we were watching Max Beyer. So Mead goes first. The first one into the 2 minutes with a 2 minutes 9:07. As Max Beyer goes on another lap. In fact, let's go on with Mead. He's on another. He's already 2/10 up on this lap as well in the crew chief Audi. Through the cutting up through Reed Park, cuts that very close to the wall there, but you have to carry all the speed through. This is what a wow, this is what a lap looks like from the outside. Harder the brakes through here, gets it slowed, gets it turned. Wow, no wonder he's so quick. This is pretty immense. Although, believe it or not, he lost a 10th through there on his last lap, so imagine how quick that must have been last time round. Shaves the Bentley logo off the wall there, and then down the conrod. Really behind him on a really good lap at the moment. Camaletto's 2.5 tenths up, nearly 3 tenths up. He's about 30 seconds behind Mead here. Mead's coming down. He's sagging time all the way. He's down to a 10th at the moment. And he's given up on that one. Wow. He was a 10th up there, but decides that's enough. Jumps back into the pits. Let's go and find Jack. There he is. Coming down towards the chase. Currently 4 tenths up. I'll put him alongside the Kaiser and Arella up there. 2:14 if he can keep it up. Just runs a little bit wide on the exit, but good enough for 5th, ahead of the Kaiser and Arella. Just behind is Von Son, so nice lap from Camaletto there, puts him up to 5th. David Dhoore also on a quick one as he comes down the conrod. Currently 1.3 off the paces, Dhoore. He's 3 tenths up here, so it's only going to put him about 2 places above, just above Venema, maybe in 11th. Good showing from Richard Venema, by the way. Shout out to him. Dhoore comes down to the final corner, Murray's corner, and does indeed go 11th behind teammate Cliff Bulcke there in 10th. Deprataire 2 tenths up as he goes up through the mountain. Remember, they're going to have to do this about 54 times tonight. Not including qualifying, just the right... Oh, look at that. All that traffic, that's... Oh, it's so annoying. For Deprataire on a lap and just runs across so much traffic. So he'll stay second at the moment. David Dhoore going again. 2 tenths up. Cliff Bulcke ahead of him. 2 tenths up as well, but he's... I say ahead of him, but he's about 30 seconds down the mountain. Dhore's going to find traffic as well here by the looks of it. Will he clear it? Has he got the pace? Looks like he might be alright. That's one of the smooth sailing Bentleys in front of him. It is. And it's Von Sond as well. I think it's Von Sond. It might be Lansley. Pulls over onto the right to let them through. Nice driving from the M4 there. Oh, in fact, that's an AMG in front. Look like a Bentley from a distance. I am getting new specs on Tuesday, by the way, so I'm not sure my commentary will get any better, but might be able to pick out a Mercedes from a Bentley. Now, round Dhoore goes. Lost a bit of time across the line. Stays 11th behind Bulcke. There's a lot of red on the timing charts at the moment. Not many people improving. Trying to find somebody into a lap. Jim Britton is about green, but fluctuating between the two. Currently sat in 8th is the crew chief. You can see though it's pretty close through there. Won't need much time to improve to jump a few places. Teammate James Mead in front of him, giving him a little bit of a tow, not much of one, but anything Jim can pick up will help him, I'm sure. As he comes down, he's about a 10th up as he comes round the final corner. If he nails this, he should jump a few. Well, he jumps to 7th, just ahead of Arella. Puts in a 2:14, just 100th behind. And David de Kaiser there in 6th. Camaretto on a good one. Very quick through there. He's half a second up. Oh, and he's lost it. Trying too hard. Lost it down through the dipper. Camaretto retires to the pits. I thought that was quick. I wasn't wrong. Fiddingham's 2.5 tenths up on this lap though. Best of a 2:17 so far. He's within a second of Mead up there at the top. Ha! Martine Kennons is in chat. Nice to see you, Martine. Long time no speak. I hope you're keeping well and doing alright after the operation. Thoughts are with you, my friend. See you back on your feet and running around with us very soon. So Fiddingham crosses the line, stays 9th behind teammate Arella. So he's returned to the pits. De Kaiser just coming up through Griffin's Mount here. 2 tenths up. Only got to make up 3. He's found 2 of them already. So he's got it in him. Martine's been in the rig for the first time in ages. Good man. Good man. Let's get you in those touring cars before long, eh? I need someone else to finish ahead of me. If the Kaiser comes through, do you know what? He found the 3 tenths through there and he's just lost a 10th. He's back to 2 as he goes down the Conrod. Cliff Bulcke half a second up on his lap. He's about a minute into his lap, so watch out for Cliff Bulcke jumping up the timing. Meanwhile, De Keyser's bled a 10th off as well. He's down about a 10th and a half now, up about a 10th and a half rather. Teammate Deprataire about a minute behind him, also on a quick one. Oh, De Keyser found loads of time there. Can he carry it across the line? Quickest in sector 2, De Keyser, but stays 3rd. Just 1.7 or 0.17, sorry, off the lead. Oh, very close at the top there. Let's go and have a look at Deprataire. Further back, Cliff Bulcke. Still 3.5 tenths up. We'll jump him into about the Arella Britton territory if he can keep it up. Currently got the finest final sector as well as Cliff Bulcke, so he knows how to run that Aston Martin through there. Bulcke goes ahead of Camaletto and Von Sond as well. A great final sector again from Cliff Bulcke, takes him up to 5th. Deprataire he's literally lost all of that time he had. So he knows he's got a couple of seconds in him. Sorry, a couple of tenths in him rather. Stays 2nd. No improvement for Deprataire. Only a minute to go, so that's him done. Mead's just started the lap, so we'll keep an eye on James Mead as he goes through. Cy Fillingham has just gone through as well. He'll get another lap in. Robert Horvath also on a lap. David Dhoore on a lap, but not improving, not green. Rick Binnersley half a second up on his time as he just comes down the Conrod, so let's wait to see if he can pull a toe off that Grizzly Racing Nissan in front of him. Having driven that car in a practice race here earlier in the week, I can tell you it's not the quickest thing down the straight for sure. Very good through the mountain though. But whatever you gain there, you really do lose down the straights because it's not the quickest. As he finds out, 2.5 tenths up now as he comes down into Murray's onto the start finish line. He will improve, but not by much. Goes 14th ahead of Venema and behind Dhoore. James Mead not on, has lost all that time. Arella 3 tenths up. He's only 30 seconds into a lap. We'll come back to him later. Teammate Fillingham though lost a little bit of time through Forest Sailboat, and he's going to lose all of that coming down the straight. It's so important to get that corner right onto the straight. He's 4 tenths up though, Fillingham. If he can get this right, he'll be in the Von Sond Camaletto territory. Just ahead, Robert Horvath on the same kind of lap time. Horvath goes 10th though, so it just shows you there's not much gap between Camaletto and Horvath, just like a 10th and a half. Fillingham though, looks like he's going to improve here if he can just get the final corner right. Loves it round here to Cy Fillingham. Oh, look at that, pushing up to 9th, just 2 1,000th off teammate Arella. So close between Max Beyer, Bulcke, Von Sond, Camaletto, Arella, Fillingham. De Keyser still going, 2 tenths up. Arella's just ahead of him, about a 10th up. Camaletto just behind him, about a 10th up. So things could change as they come down to the final few corners here. Mead still looks like he's going to get pole unless De Keyser can pull something. He has done. Just found a 10th through there. This is going to be close. If he can keep this up, he'll be ahead of Mead. Final corner. Amadeo De Keyser takes it. Oh, it's going to be close. He does it. Oh, my word. By 2 100ths per second. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Camaletto still crosses the line. Improves, but stays 7th. Oh, what an effort by Amadeo De Keyser. Sits there in the pits, having nailed it literally under the checkered flag. Wow, that was epic. That was epic. Should we do this again? People seem to like the grid walk last time. Come on, you can do it. Bloody hell, it's just a double click. Thank you. If I can just see the bloody... Thank you, it's so difficult to see on my screen. There we go, right. Okay. So, let's get the camera in place. Sorry for making you feel a bit ill. In general. So, there's the Kaiser from Mead. Oh, let's get the camera straight. There we go. From Mead. The Kaiser's teammate Deprataire there in third. Another great showing from Max Beyer there in fourth in the Nissan. Cliff Bulcke sits there in fifth. Great showing from him at the end. Now, I must have missed that one. Von Son there in sixth. Nice showing from him again. Camerletta there in seventh. He'll want to improve from there after winning this race last year. Arella and Fillingham 8th and 9th there in the BMWs. Those great liveries. Jim Britton there in 10th in the other crew chief car. Followed by Robert Horvath there on the right in the green Aston Martin. Brad Kuntz there in 12th. David Dhoore wants to improve from 13th in the yellow intense racing car. There's Binnersy there in 14th in the Tic Tac car. Vanema in 15th in that Marlboro NSX. Followed by Jody Barraclough there. Sanyo Alpha in 17th in the stealthy looking McLaren. Manojlovic there in 18th. Zander Hunzig there in 19th. Tommy Coastland there in 20th. Sev Lansley on the right there in 21st. Andre Moll there in 22nd. Yeah, Andre in 22nd. The first of the smooth sailing Bentleys there in 23rd. Let me just make sure I've got the running here. It's better. Right, okay. So yeah, in 23rd, that's Marvin Mackenberg. Santiago Cruz there in 24th. Followed by Ian Paskin there in 25th. Dusan Magyar, isn't that Mercedes that I got confused with, in 26th. Sev Lanzi there in 27th. Who did I say then? Did I say Mark Boswell? Oh, I don't know. I got somebody's confused there somewhere, haven't I? We're just about to start the warm-up, so we'll go through this in a second. Sev Lansley, Pavel Bogdan there, 28th. Good showing, Pavel. Nicholas Wicklander there in 29th in the Ferrari. Nick Campbell there in the other Bentley in 30th. Sam Cockayne 31st in the Golf McLaren. Arbanushi in the pink TSR McLaren in 32nd. Rude Dennis, come on Rude, you're better than that, there in 33rd. Christian Groit, what are you doing down there, Christian? What happened? 34th. Ladislav Babarak down there in 35th. And Walt Graves, last but not least, of course, in the Bentley. As there they go, all away they go. So let's get back to... No, we don't want that. There we go. Like I said, by 7 races, I might know what I'm doing. So here they go on their warm-up lap. Sam, it's not about being quick tonight, man. It's about being consistent. I know you've got that in you. So stick it out to the end. Don't hit a wall. And you'll do alright. As I say, in the practice race during the week, I was not fastest by a long shot. And I mean, you know, we're talking like multiple seconds. But I only hit the wall once, and it was a graze. I managed to come third. So... like I said, it's all about consistency and a little bit about, well, a fair consistency about speed. That didn't make sense. I know what I mean. You've got to be fast and consistent. There you go. But consistency over speed, I think. But you need speed as well. Anyway, thank God the race is going to start in a minute. I haven't got to talk all this bollocks. Here we go. So De Keyser, Mead, Deprataire, Beyer lead them across the mountain at a set pace. Keeps the pack bunched up. Some cars out of place down the back of the grid. Mainly those smooth sailing Bentleys. I know they're not the best round here, but I'm sure Marvin and Christian can improve on those positions. As down they come. Left, right through the S's down towards the elbow. All the Bentley signage up there. Very pretty. Great place to watch up there as well. On that corner. You see him coming down through the dipper and along through there, and then also get to watch them disappear down the Conrod Straight. Stewards did tell the drivers in their briefing that they can't defend down the middle of the track here. It's not really wide enough to go three cars wide, so you need to pick a side early on the straight and stick to it. You can see there the road markings that have been greyed out. If you're doing what the cars are doing there, you can see there's not really much room either side to get a car through, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for error, so they will need to pick a side down the straight, so watch out for that in the race. So GT3 Masters 6 round 5 about to get underway as they form two trains. Keyser just getting the cars all moving, and they'll come to a grinding halt. It's really hard work if you're in. I feel sorry for Walt Graves, because all of a sudden what was a one car train becomes a two car train, and if you're back of that trying to catch up that distance, trying to judge pace is really difficult. But anyway, enough of that. Round they come, the final corner. Keyser, Mead, Deprataire, Beyer. First corner could be hilarious. Watch out for the green lights as they cross the line. There they go, green, 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 and off they go. Great start from De Keyser. Teammate Deprataire's also got a good run at the inside of Mead, but Mead's going to make it through. Oh no, they've come together! Mead's going to stick it on. Oh no! And you can see what that's caused behind James Mead. Deprataire and Mead just got together, and that's given De Keyser a huge lead up front. De Keyser leads from Deprataire, Bulcke, Camiletto up to 4th, filling him up to 5th, Beyer, Horvath, Dhoore, Venimo, Arella, Hunzig, Britton, Bosman, Kuhn, Sarnio, Alpha, Mackenberg, Paskin, Manojlovic, Barraclough. Loads of people down the back end lost time. No more so James Mead currently finds himself in 33rd position. But De Keyser is away. Already a second and a half ahead of teammate Deprataire, Bulcke and Camiletto, and Fillingham and Beyer in close attendance, but the first three really have started to make a break already into lap 1 as carnage ensued behind them. De Keyser just shows you how important that pole lap was from him. Otherwise he'd have been involved in that incident with Deprataire and Mead. We'll just go back and have a look at the start. I think it's all kind of where we are there, aren't we? So let's see if we can find the original incident between Deprataire . Here we go, let's have a look. So, oh yeah, Mead just, oh, did he just squeeze De Keyser on the inside? Possibly. Tell you what, we'll go and have a look at it from a driver's point of view. Let's just go back and have a look at that incident again. Sorry, just got to do it in a certain way. So this is the view from Deprataire up the inside. Oh, he just nudges Mead on the corner. That spun Mead round. So James Mead, unfortunate victim to the little nudge from Bram Deprataire. Spun him round and then all carnage ensued behind. There is James. In fact, James Mead in the pits. I'm not sure if he's getting repairs. I guess so. And you can see a couple of the others as well. We'll have a look at it from his point of view. Mead out the pits, but this is it from James Mead. You can see lights go green. The Kaiser goes in front of him. Mead looks to the inside but doesn't. Takes it and then just gets that nudge, and then we're not going to see the carnage afterwards, thank goodness. And then all hell broke loose after that. James Mead currently sits down there in 32nd position. Christian Gruter. That's it. Ahead of him after his pit stop, Babrak, Santiago Carew and Ruud Dennis suffering as well near the back of the grid. Meanwhile though, in third, Cliff Bulcke. It's got Camaletto, Fillingham, Beyer, Horvath and David Dhoore up his chuff. The two WRT cars checked out. 5 minutes or 4 minutes in and already the race shaping up to be a WRT show. They can just keep it together. I don't want to say anything about the stewards and how they'll see that incident with Deprataire and Mead. My initial seeing of it. Now you see, did Mead leave him enough space on the inside? Did he need to? Was it Deprataire needed to give him that corner? Anyway, as I said, we'll leave it up to the stewards. But if they do find in the favour of Mead and against Deprataire, there'll be a time penalty, no doubt, because of the carnage that ensued afterwards. So Bram needs to really get a shift on here and build himself some kind of lead to make sure that any time penalties that may come his way are limited. But we'll see. That's in the days to come. We've got hours to come yet. Anything can happen. So De Kaiser, Deprataire away down the corner, as you can see. Then Cliff Bulcke in third. Camaletto right behind him. Fillingham just behind him. Beyer and Horvath in the distance. Followed by Dhoore, Venema, Jim Britton, Bosman, Zander Hunzig, Alpha, Britton. Ralf Arella down there in 15th. He obviously didn't fare too well. Paskin, Mackenmerg, who made some places up at the start, so well played to him. Unfortunately, Christian not having the same luck. Manojlovic, Barraclough, Binnersley, Kostner, Wicklander, Bogdan, and I'm sure Andre Mole sitting there going, why can't we get a lap together? So that's this lot further down the field. This is Sanyo Alpha. He's got Paskin and Barak Kunt behind him. Those two had a pretty big fight, I think, at Kyle Army last time out, did Paskin and Barak Kunt. So those two are at it again. Further back, there's Jody Barraclough with Rick Binnersley right behind him. Little gap then to Tommy Kostner behind. Remember, Kostner leading the AM Cup ahead of Barraclough. So Barraclough will want to make... Oh, Jody gets a bit of a swapper on there. Picks it and collects it up though. Making sure he sees him from behind with his lights blaring. And off they go through the mountains. That's that battle for the AM Cup there. Barraclough in 16th, Kostner in 18th. Mark Bosman in that as well, of course, and he's up there in 10th currently in this battle between him, Wacky Teddy just behind him, and Jim Britton. In fact, Teddy gets it all wrong there. Britton picks that space up, thank you very much. So Britton back up to 11th. Bosman, oh, doesn't get that right. That's going to lose him a lot of speed down the Conrod. Jim Britton's going to be rubbing his hands together as the slow M4 gets a slow exit out of the elbow. And now that big Audi R8 hunting him down over the brow, down into the chase. Just behind him, Paskin actually got ahead there of Wacky Teddy there, so Zander losing a few places there in the spaces of a few corners. It shows you one mistake can cost you so much time here. I don't want to seem like I'm repeating myself, but consistency is the key. Big train behind Paskin here. Hasker, Hunzig, Alpha, Kump, Barraclough, Binnersley, Kosonen, Manojlovic, Wicklander, all in attendance. Behind the Golf, Davidoff, McLaren off Paskin there in 12th. Mirnile up front. Let's go back to Cliff Bulcke. Already 3.5 behind Deprataire. He's 2.5 behind De Kaiser. As they go down through the S's, through the dipper. Miguel Santiago Carew in the chat, so I'm guessing that car is parked up and out. That's unfortunate for Miguel unless he's getting repairs. His car's still shown as live, but whether Miguel stepped out the car while it's being repaired to to chat with us, I'm not sure, but unfortunate for Miguel. Season of hell for Miguel. Oh, cheers Miguel, I just read that for you. So Miguel is out of the race. I'll whack myself in Discord for you, sir. If you want to jump in, please feel free. I can find Discord. I've got so many bloody windows open here. I'm going to do a little stream one day, just showing exactly what goes on with regards to a broadcast. I don't know if that would be of interest to you guys, but I'll just give you an idea of what goes on behind the scenes and just how many different things we've got going on in the background. So let's just jump into there, make sure I've got everything correct. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Yep, that's all good. Right. If you want to jump in at all, Miguel, I'm there. Feel free. Anyway, where are we? Cliff Bulcke, of course. It's all cracking on up ahead. Oh, what's happened here? Somebody... Oh, 3 people in the pits. Vanson, Mole and Nushi. Oh, what's happened there? Andre Mole, 67. Not in the wars from what I can see. There is contact between cars number 4 and 11. That's Paskin and Sanyo Alpha. There is that. Let's go and have a look at that one. Well, we said 3 wide down the Conrod wouldn't work, didn't we? Wow. Yeah. Ian Paskin obviously came out okay. Because he's currently all the way down the straight, 3 seconds ahead of Sanyo Alpha and Wacky Teddy. So that McLaren does drive on grass as well, and is quick as well. Paskin up to 12th. Deprataire's had a bit of an incident. Because look, he's suddenly in the grasp of Cliff Bulcke. So has the Audi sustained any damage? I presume it was a wall incident. It might have gone wrong through a chase, but unlikely for a driver of Bram's stature. But anyway, suddenly Cliff Bulcke can see second place in front of him. So De Keyser leads by 6.7 ahead of Deprataire, and it's Bulcke, Camaletto, Filling and Beyer all covered by a tablecloth as they go through here. 2 seconds back to Robert Horvath in 7th. David Dhoore was about a second and a half back in 8th. Vanima's 5 seconds back in 9th, and Bosman 4.5 seconds back in 10th. And it's Britton, Paskin, Alpha, Huizing, Kunt, Baraclough, Binnersley, Kostner, Manojlovic and Sev Lansley. Brings up your top 20. Not quite sure what the little graphic is showing at the bottom. It's showing Cliff Bulcke in second, but where's Deprataire suddenly disappeared to? Did I miss that? I was busy looking at something else. Deprataire suddenly has gone back to 4th. Well, if you saw it, well done. I missed it. With Deprataire struggling in the early part of the... well, not in the early part of the race, but in the fairly early part of the race. Cliff Bulcke now up to 2nd, with Camaletto there in 3rd. Deprataire down to 4th. A few inconsistencies creeping into Bram's driving. His teammate De Keyser extends his lead at the front, 8.4 ahead of Bulcke and Camaletto. I was so busy looking at that graphic trying to work out why it was wrong, only to see that it wasn't actually wrong at all, and Cliff Bulcke was 2nd. Anyway, here we go. You can see the graphic in the bottom left that is working now. It hasn't been working for a couple of races. We finally got it working. That will show you when it's green, when they're quicker in those sectors than the cars ahead and behind, and red if they're slower. As they go through the sector, you can see the little bars just moving through as they go through the sector. So keep an eye on that if you want to know where they are speed wise. So Bulcke starting to extend away from Camaletto, but we know Jack will look after his car, look after his tyres, make sure he gets the maximum amount out of them. 2 mandatory stops to be made today. So we'll see how the strategy plays out. Max Beyer. At the back of Cy Fillingham as the sun starts to set. Well, it's been setting for a while, but starting to get into the driver's eyesight. Sorry, cameraman just trying to keep up. Sparks flicked up there by Camaletto, I think it was. Might have been Deprataire, but Sparks anyway. That Nissan hugged the wall. You see that round that corner. Fillingham gave it a little bit of respect. No respect for him. Beyer shown. That's put him right on the tail now of Cy Fillingham. Just a little lift through there. Slight lift through there. You can't take that flat up. It's so dangerous to do. It doesn't really give you much other than more speed through this section, which just is a quick path to the pearly gates. Slow down for the elbow, and down the conrod they go. Seeing Dhoore go through there. There we go. So rundown, Decai's at 9.5 now, ahead of Cliff Bulcke in second. Camiletto third, being chased down by Deprataire, trying to get some of those places back he's lost early in the race. Fillingham fifth, Beyer sixth. That's the battle we're watching here. Just behind them, Horvath and Dhoore, 7th and 8th. A gap then of 6.7 back to Venema, making a really good showing in that Honda, Richard Venema. Mark Bosman there in 10th. Jim Britton down to 11th. Paskin, Sino Alpha, Barrett Kunt. That's going to keep rolling on for quite some time, those three. Jody Barraclough, though, is right behind Alpha and Barrett Kunt. So, well, I'm sure Beyer will be chasing down Fillingham for a little while. Let's go and have a look at the Alpha, Kunt and Barraclough battle. This is the view from Barraclough's passenger seat. So put a mouth guard in. Make sure you don't bite your tongue. Oh, on the grass up front from Sino Alpha. That's going to cost him some time up the straight. Barrett's going to have a look up the inside into turn 2. And he's going to have the climb here. That's how much that cost him. Sino Alpha on the grass. The other thing is, it's really difficult to drive the man to the best of times, but when you're driving so close like this, you do go by muscle memory, but it only takes one little move from the car in front that you're not like that, brushing the wall, and you're going to the funeral with them. Great racing from the three of them, this is. Down the conrod, there you go. Further behind them, that's Kosten and Manojlovic. But there's those three. You can see Sino Alpha's McLaren looking a little bit battered already. Camiletto, Fillingham and Beyer though, all getting a little bit closer. You can see Deprataire past Camiletto for third. Clean pass. Further down though, Ralf Arella has had a bit of an incident. Looks like it was with Christian Grunt. Christian, I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Let's have a look. Come on, cameraman. Oh, Arella just trying to sneak through at the chase. The two of them had a little coming together, so Ralf Arella's had his own little incidents, finds himself down there in 25th position, does Ralf. Still a long way to go, but that's some distance he's got to make up, that's for sure. Anyway, back to Camiletto, Fillingham and Max Beyer. See Deprataire there just in front of Camiletto. Cliff Bulcke goes through in second, Deprataire third, Camiletto, Fillingham, Beyer. Small gap back to Horvath, just coming under the Land Rover bridge, about 1.5 seconds off the gap, off the back rather. So Alpha and Barraclough at it. Barraclough down the inside. Alpha having a look, just giving a little chase round the final corner. Let's have a look up into turn 1. Just see how Barraclough managed to get past. Oh, it was a mistake again from Alpha. Barraclough round the outside, Turman a little coming together. And didn't put Jody off though, and he's through and up into 14th in the chase of that AM Cup. Oh, they're still going at it. Do you know what, I want to go on board with Alpha, but don't think my brains can stand it. Here we go. Close to the wall. Barraclough just starting to pull a little bit of a gap here. You can see down the left hand corner, you can see he's 0.3 in sector 2 red off Jody Barraclough. That's why Jody's got that gap. That's how that works. So slightly quicker in sector 1, 0.3 slower in sector 2. In fact, 1 point. I thought it was a 1 point. Oh wow, I thought it was a 0 point. It's 1.2. And that's why Jody's got that big lead now. Sarnio drifts the McLaren round through the chase. That's Tommy Coaston behind. Gets closer and closer and closer. Coaston again, as I said, after that AM Cup with Barraclough. Mark Bosman as well up there in 10th in the running as well. Let's just see if I can get that championship. There you go. So Coaston and Barraclough, Bosman all fighting out at the top there. Decent haul of points will make it all worthwhile. Look at Richard Vanema up there in 9th as well. This will help him massively. So all to play for in the AM Cup. Up front, Dekai's at 11.5 ahead of Bulcke. Deprataire 2.7 ahead of Camaletto. He's pulled out 2 seconds on Fillingham. He's got Max Beyer about a second behind him, with Horvath a second behind him. So Camaletto just starting to stretch his legs a little bit. Dekai's the only one in the 201s at the moment. 201.9 last time round. Bulcke and Deprataire the 202s, along with Beyer. Everyone else last time round in 203s, with the odd 204 dotted further down the list. So plenty of speed. Jody Barraclough 203.4 last time round. That's really quick. That's on the pace of Horvath there in 7th. So Barraclough and some good times. Now he's got some free air ahead of Alpha. Let's kind of look at the Fillingham by Horvath battle. That's David Dhoore there in the intense racing car in the background. Still a long way to go. Bulcke in 2nd, Dhoore in 8th for intense racing. So we can nail their 2 pit stops and make no mistakes. They're on for a really good showing tonight. I'm just going to grab myself a drink, so please watch the racing while I do. Kaiser has made an error somewhere on the line. His gap's just gone down to 8 seconds from 11.5. So even the best for a bit of wall rubbing, a bit of chastaining. So the gap to Kaiser to Bulcke 8.5 now. Pace is pretty relentless though. Max really close to sight. Go over the start finish line. Say about 58 laps they're going to get in here. They've completed 14. 1.5 to go. And pit stops, that's probably going to drop down to something like 56. But we'll see. While we're watching that, let's go back to Sani Arfa. Tommy Kosonen and Manojlovic managed to get past Sarnio now. So Sarnio down to 17th. Wacky Teddy has had a bit, in fact, Kosonen a bit of an incident there. He's just dropped back slightly behind Manojlovic. Side of that Ferrari looking a little bit worse for wear. As Wacky Teddy comes in for his first, I'm guessing that's his first scheduled stop. So he's in with a rather scratched up McLaren. Have we got any battles through the field? Nick Campbell, got Walt Graves, teammate, behind him. Followed by Dusan Magyar and Andre Mol, and Nick Campbell comes into the pits for his stop. Graves goes through. Behind him, Magyar, Mol. And then, is that? I think that's Cliff Bulcke behind. So these three will be getting blue flags. So Bulcke makes his way past Mol. Comes up on the cars of Graves and Magyar. Not a place to catch. Graves moves over. Nice driving from him. And then Caminetto is going to be next on the scene with those lot as they go through. There's Cliff Bulcke and Deprataire chasing down Dusan Magyar. Mol caught in the middle of that as well. Bulcke just may have brushed the wall there slightly. I'm not sure if that was my eyesight, but so Magyar's through. We'll pull to the right now. Bulcke through on the left. Meanwhile, just behind Mol lets Deprataire through. So making their way through the traffic, these two. Deprataire still to dispatch Magyar, which I'm sure he'll do on the back up the mountain. Behind them, look at this lot. Caminetto, Fillingham, Beyer. They've made their way past Walt Graves. Look at all that traffic in front of them. Wow. As I said, so many twists and turns literally in this track and this race tonight. Finningham having a really good showing tonight, which he needs to do. Teammate Arella struggling right down the field. Currently sat Arella in 22nd place. So going to need teammate Finningham to bring home some points here for Team 77. And while pressuring Caminetto, he himself is being pressured by Max Beyer. Let's do it again. Take some commitment through there. All three of them absolutely nailing it. Inch perfect. Excuse me. Caminetto, Finningham, Beyer, covered by a second. Deprataire and Bulcke very close as well as they go over the start-finish line. There they go. Bulcke in second, Deprataire third. That's Sino Alpha. I think that's Andre Mole just behind him. Nicholas Wicklander has got the rampaging Caminetto, Finningham and Beyer chasing him. On board with Deprataire. Slight lock up. Deprataire that's just going to, mind you, Bulcke brushes the wall on the exit, but that's going to split those two slightly. So away they go. Further behind though. In fact, not much further behind. Caminetto, Finningham and Beyer still at it. Behind Beyer, 6.5 seconds back to David Dhoore. 8.5 seconds behind Dhoore is Mark Bosman. Richard Vanema, Jim Britton, Paskin, Barak Hunt, Jody Barraclough chasing him down. So those two having a right old scrap this race. Paskin's away from them by about 3 seconds though. Tommy Coaston 10 seconds off the back of Barraclough. 20 seconds behind them is Sev Lanzi, Horvath, Mackenberg, James Mead making his way back through the field. And they're in 18th after that first lap. First corner disaster for Mead. 202s he's currently in, but he's in traffic. Still on the pace of the leaders though. Last time round Bulcke was a 202.8. Last time round Mead a 202.4. So currently fastest man on the track, James Mead. Kaiser had a slow one last time round as well, presumably in traffic. See, Myers got past Finningham as I was looking at the timing charts. So Max up to 5th, side down to 6th. Caminetto's got a new rear view. Big GTR. How did Beyer keep that together? He did. Really was a code brown Max Beyer there. Meanwhile, Caminetto serenely goes on his way. Good friend Andre Moll ahead of him. So they come into the chase. Moll and Jack, as I said, very good friends. If you're not signed up already, pop on over to the Paradigm Shift Discord. I'm so sure somebody in the RRL Discord will give you a link. Jack's community over at Paradigm Shift. Most of us over there as well, but yeah, pop on over there and check out those guys. Moll stays left. He's going to let Caminetto by it. He's going to let Fillingham through as well. No. Buyer's going to look around the outside of Caminetto here. Not going to make it work though. Moll does move out the way for Fillingham. So these three back on each other's tails again. Not sure if that's Wacky Teddy there. No, that's not going to give it to him. I was trying to find a relative. McLaren gets out the way though. Allows the three of these through. Just all that just behind them. Dhore's got the gap back down to 2. Drive through speed in the pit lane for 4.79. Who's that? 4.19. Walt Graves, I think that is. So Graves with the drive through. It's going to hurt even more. Oh, who's that off? Destroyed the 150 and 100 markers. Not like a red and white stripe car. None of those though. So De Kaiser leads back up. The gap's back up to 12 seconds now to Deprataire. Bulcke 4 seconds now off the back of Bram. Jack 2 seconds behind Cliff. You can see Cliff's obviously been stuck in the traffic there. There goes Bulcke through. Caminetto just 2 seconds back. Right, Fillingham right there as always. 5 seconds back to Dhoore. Jim Britton's up to 8th now. Paskin to 9th. Vanima's in the pits for his first stop. And he's dropping down the field. So he gets his fuel and tyres, if you're getting tyres. Mandatory 2 tyre stops maybe today. I think that may be it. Rather than fuel. Not quite sure. We'll see. Can you imagine fuel will be mandatory rather than tyres? So dust gets kicked up there. In fact, while you're doing that, I'm just going to watching that right. I'm just going to have a quick look at the requirements for today. I'm pretty sure it's a mandatory fuel. Where are we? Calendar. Alright, so it's 5. Mandatory pit stop, 2 for fuel. That's correct. So 2 fuel stops and not required to take tyres, but I imagine on one of them they probably will. Not both. There's the McLaren there of whoever that is. Is that Sino Alpha again? Really climbing all over the back now of Caminetto. Is the on board. Behind them, that's Fillingham. Rear. Caminetto moves to the left. He's going to allow the inside for Beyer. Is he going to have a look at it? No, Max. Jack just shows him a little bit too much respect there. And Beyer's going to take 4th place from Caminetto. It's almost like Jack didn't really want him driving that close on his rear. Driver much rather sit in Max's slipstream and get dragged along by that big GTR. Like I said, only a second or so in a 2-hour race won't hurt much, but it's good news for Max. He's through and now can chase after Cliff Bulcke. Just going through the elbow there. So on lap 22, De Kaiser leads Deprataire by 12 seconds from Bulcke, Beyer, Caminetto, Fillingham. They're the ones you're watching there. Dhoore 5 seconds further back from Jim Britton up to 8th. Paskin's up to 9th. Coastland's in the pits in his Ferrari just slipping down the field into 11th. Mackenberg, Binnersley, Bosman, Arella, Paskin, Venema, Kunt, Barraclough, Christian Grutter, Tommy Kosonen. He's going to catch in the pits in 21st, so he's still hanging around there. Alpha Moll, Magyar, Lansley, Hunzig, Graves, Wicklander, Campbell, Cocaine, Dennis Nushi, Von Son, Santiago, Carew. I didn't see the name. Oh, I did see the name. James Mead's in 9th. Fair play, James Mead. Making the most of things. He has made a stop as well. And the guys in front will have to stop. So James Mead, not quite as bad as it might make out at first, but he is going to have to fly. And to be fair, he is in the 202s all the time. So he's putting everything he can into this. The only person to record a 201 so far, those are only the guys at 201.5. Nice showing from him, as always. You can see in the sector times at the bottom, Max quicker than Cliff in sector 1, quicker than Jack in sector 1. Looks like he's on the pace of Bulcke in sector 2. Jack just slightly quicker. Bulcke's got traffic ahead. He's caught him at the right place on the straight though. It's the Bentley of Nick Campbell, I think. So Beyer made up 1.1 in sector 2, and that's why the gap to Cliff Bulcke has come down a little bit. This Cliff obviously got caught up behind Campbell through the S's. Oh, it's Walt Graves. Sorry, I just saw the GRA in the windscreen. He pulls left. And that's going to allow Max, Jack and Si through. Has Max through, but not Jack. Oh no! Will Walt pull left? He does, and how's Jack through? Is he going to let Si through as well? We'll see. He doesn't have to, remember. 3 blue flags, and then you move over. Meanwhile, Mackenberg and Binnersley further down the field, 11th and 12th currently. Mackenberg yet to stop. Binnersley has stopped. So Binnersley a pit stop ahead here of Mackenberg. Marvin putting some laps together. Try and drag himself up the field. Remember, the first 8 yet to stop. James Mead had a terrible accident in turn 1 after qualifying second. Making his way back up through the field. It's 40 seconds off the back of his teammate Jim Britton though, which is about a stop. So after Jim's stop, that's where James will come out, which is a fantastic performance considering where he's been. Lights on now as dusk starts to come in. Just driving both of them through there. Find out one of the hardest corners to get. Oh no, Binnersley! Commentator's curse. Oh no, hold it, Rick. Oh no, now the traffic's coming and he's stuck. How'd you get out of that one? Very difficult to do. He's got 10 seconds gap between him and Bosman. Oh no. That's really going to hurt Binnersley. Now he can come out. Sorry, Rick. Blame that on me, mate. That is on me. Seem to remember embarrassing one Cy Fillingham there a few years ago. Now it's your turn. You can take the mantle. After all the traffic, Max Beyer now just brushes the wall there. Didn't take much off it, but he's got an extra coat of paint from the wall. The wall's got his paint on it. He's chasing down Bulcke. Camiletto and Fillingham all starting to open up a bit now as he went through the back markers there. Fillingham lost a good 4 seconds or so behind Walt Graves over the mountain. And he's now some 6 seconds off the back of Fillingham as they go through. So run down as they start to enter their pit stop territory. De Keyser leads 12 seconds ahead of Deprataire. He's 5 seconds ahead of Cliff Bulcke. He's 1.3 ahead of Max Beyer here in 4th. He's in turn 1.6 ahead of Camiletto in 5th. Gap back to Fillingham from Camiletto 5.8. Dhoore just 1.1 off the back of Fillingham now. So David Dhoore sensing blood. Jim Britton 16 seconds off the back of Dhoore. James Mead 35 seconds off the back of Jim Britton. Horvath and Mackenberg 5 seconds off the back of Mead. So that's where you are. There's a lot of gaps there, big gaps. There's a lot of chasing to be done as well. It tends to happen across the mountain as the time wears on. The gaps start to get bigger. You get new challenges appear. That's why you don't have a Rogan Josh before the broadcast. Oh, excuse me. Richard Venema, yellow flag against him. As him and brushes the wall on the way out as well. Car number 3. What happened there? Had an accident earlier on with car number 33, Manojlovic. Is that Manojlovic 33? No, Manojlovic is 23. 33, Sam Cockayne. Let's have a look at that one. Oh, that's why. Sam. Oh no. Hold your brakes, Sam. Fortunately, that cost Venema damage, and into the pits comes Richard. Hard pit lane to get in here as well, very tight. So Venema comes in for his stop. Already stopped. What? Has he stopped once already? He's got a 1 there. I don't know if that clock resets when you go in the pits, but anyway. It's Beyer. Got the gap down to Cliff Bulcke. 0.6 now. So we get into the Australia night. You can see sun's gone. Dusk certainly falling. Still quite a bit of ambient light in the sky, but it is falling pretty quickly. As Max uses every inch of the track, which goes up through the quarry and the cutting. It gets so tight in that Nissan through there. Battle for third, Bulcke, Beyer. Caminetto is just 2 seconds off the back of this in 5th. You just see him going through the back there. He's coasting behind him. Ahead of Dhoore now, just overtaken David Dhoore down there in 10th. But the two of them side by side, going up through the cutting. Hülkenberg manages to hold the position against Dhoore. Let's go back to Bulcke and Beyer. Deprataire is in the pits. His first stop of the race. Meanwhile, Bulcke and Beyer go through. Caminetto as well. So Deprataire first to the lead in 7th to get in the pits. Max pulls out on Cliff as they go up towards turn 2. This could be race defining. Max is through. The Nissan barges past. There's a slow moving McLaren there on the inside on the TSR McLarens. But Beyer continues his charge up through the field, up to 2nd now. Chasing down Deprataire when he comes out of the pits, and De Keyser. De Keyser already 20 seconds ahead of Max. That's some time. He really has been impressive, Amadeo De Keyser. Not much going on further down the field. Jody Barraclough and Britton still at it. There's a second between those two. Hülkenberg and Dhoore we've seen, and two battling it out still. Let's go and have a look at those two again, shall we? Hülkenberg in the Bentley, Dhoore in the intense race in Aston. As the cameraman tries to keep up. Bit the amber nectar there, down the straight for the old boy. Going to on board with David Dhoore. Okay, your wish is my command. Full beam blaring in the back of Hülkenberg's Bentley. So you want some kind of James Bond oil slick flying out the back of it. Driven both, I think, as James Bond, a Bentley and an Aston in his time. Oh, Hülkenberg gets it wrong. This is Dhore's opportunity. Come on, cameraman. Jesus, there we go. And Mackenberg stays left. That'll give him the outside through the chase, but the inside for the left-hander. Side by side through here. Dhoore just ahead. He is. So Dhoore gets that place back. Goes back up to 10th. Finningham and Britton now in the pits. In 6th and 7th, or 7th and 8th now as they drop down through. James Mead through into a real time 6th. That's so impressive, have to say. Mackenberg goes into the pits, leaves Dhoore alone. Now Dhore's managed to get past him again. Let's go back to Cliff Bulcke having another go at Max, actually. Max not been able to pull away here from Cliff. It's at a bad middle sector there. There's Max Beyer. You can see sector 1, 4/10 ahead of Bulcke. Sector 2, he lost 8 of those though. That's just allowed Bulcke to get right back on him again. There's another cart flies into the pits behind. That's Camaletto. It's his first stop. So 1 hour in, halfway. De Keyser, Beyer, Bulcke still to stop. Camaletto in for his stop on the hour. Deprataire has stopped. Mead has stopped early. Horvath has stopped. Fillingham has stopped. In fact, they've all stopped then. It's just those top 4 still to make their visit. Although Camaletto currently being serviced. And the way that Nissan gets through the cutting and allows him to pull out a second now on Cliff Bulcke in 3rd. So good through that section of track is that Nissan. Oh, Miguel, sorry, you in chat? I didn't see you there, mate. Jump in whenever you want, man. No, he's gone. I thought he was in it, but he's gone. He was in chat earlier. Anytime you want to jump in, Miguel, don't worry. Just jump in and say you're there. You've gained that much. This is your commentary box, man. Don't forget. It isn't mine. I'm just here keeping the seat warm. So these two, second. De Keyser now jumps into the pits. Will Beyer take the Nissan in this time round? He stays left. He does. Bulcke does as too. So these two top 3 in the pits. A lap after Camaletto. In they come. So we'll leave them to their stop. Alright, Jody Barraclough still at it. McLaren, the BMW, currently 13th and 14th. Just ahead of them, Ian Paskin. These 3 have been together pretty much all race, really. Through a pit stop as well. Jim Britton must have had a bit of a disaster. He's come out in 15th behind this battle. So 8 seconds behind this battle, actually. Arella there up to 11th, so he's had a good time of it. Don't forget though, they still have to make another stop, so fuel loads might be different between the cars, depending on strategy. Some may have made a quick stop in the middle of the race, and some may have gone long, and who knows? Only the drivers themselves will know. Mead's in for his last stop, so he'll go to the end of the race after this from 6th, so he'll come out somewhere around teammate Jim Britton, excuse me, but then that'll be him done for the race. Just to give you a time check, fastest man last time round, Bram Deprataire at 2:02.7. 202.8 from David Dhoore. Nobody else in the 202s. So Paskin, Kunt and Barraclough, those three closest on track together at the moment. Andre Moles chasing down Tommy Coaston in 18th and 19th. Christian Gruert, Ralf Arella in the pits. And somebody's found some fireworks outside. Fortunately, Ladislav Babarak lost his connection to the server during the race. Pavel Bogdan also out. As night falls pretty quickly here now. Now to go. Lights are fully on now. Look at that BMW has got. It's good front lights. Perhaps if you lost two of those, might give it a little bit more speed. Alright, looking all over the back of Ian there for 10th place. Paskin holds strong though. They're going across the line. 10, 11, 12. Paskin, Kunt, Barraclough. After the pit stop, Kaiser, Deprataire, Beyer, Bulcke lost 5 seconds in that pit stop behind Max Beyer. Max is now just 1.9 off the back of Deprataire, who is 10.9 off the back of Amadeo De Kaiser. So it's all tightened up a bit up front. Of course, fuel loads might be different, you don't know. You'll have to see. While these three continue their battle for the top 10. Gaps ebb and flow over the mountain as they each take different levels of risk. Not time for a full send just yet. All just evens out as they go down the Conrod straight, and the lights in the distance look absolutely stunning. James Mead chasing down Nemanja Manojlovic, a few seconds back. There's Manojlovic, that's Mead just behind. Mead made all his stops, as has Arella just behind him. Arella's about, I say just 22 seconds behind James Mead. But Mead has done all his stops. So even after that first lap incident, looks like Mead will get a really good finish out. Potentially ahead of teammate Jim Britton, who has yet to make his final stop. So Mead the back of these three cars. Bentley there of, is that Nick Campbell or is that Walt Graves? Moves over, let these two through. Drivers out like Yves Van Sond, Santiago Carew. Arbanucci looks like he's bit the bullet as well. Ruud Dennis. Is Ruud Dennis still going? Let's have a look. Yeah, Ruud's still circulating. Apologies. As is Arbanucci. Van Sond has retired though, so 31 drivers left in so far. This is a Paskin Kunt Paraclough race. Lights on the circuit, so difficult to keep close eye on the cars as the light has now gone completely. It'd be epic to drive this. In fact, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go on board with Ian Paskin and see what it's like from his point of view. Headlights pick out the advertising hoardings on the walls. Ian Paskin, remember last time out, was racing dosed up to the eyeballs with paracetamol after carrying his arm in a sling for the weekend. Not the ideal preparation for this weekend, but it obviously looks like he's healed sufficiently. As the lights dip in and out. She goes down the dipper through to Forest's elbow, tight on that wall on the left, down the straight. Lovely camera angle that. And down the pitch black he goes. The dash cam, bonnet cam. Moly Bridge and towards Murray's corner, last corner on the course, through there, under the bridge, start finish. Paskin goes through in 10th. Being chased down by Barrett Kunt, Jody Barraclough, and also just in the background Jim Britton's joined the fight as well. So looks like that's Nucci out of the way in the, what is that, Venema? Oh, which car is Richard Venema driving? It is that one, Richard Venema in that McLaren, sorry, in the NSX rather. Meanwhile these four, Paskin, Kunt, Barraclough and Britton, James Mead's managed to get ahead of Merlovich now, so Mead's up to 14th. 25 seconds behind this battle. Up front, De Kaiser leads Deprataire by 11.3. Gap to Beyer behind, kind of static at 2.5 seconds between Deprataire and Beyer. Bulcke some 9 seconds off the back of Max in 4th. Orvarth up to 5th. Finningham 6th. Dhoore 7th. Mark Bosman 8th. Jack Caminetto 9th. Although Jack has made all his stops. Little green bar there next to his name showing he has stopped. Made his compulsory, so he's going to go through to the end of the race. And in this battle between Paskin, Kunt, Barraclough and Britton, I say Mead and Manojlovic behind these two with Arella, Kostner and Mackenberg, Christian Greuter Sev Lansley, Andre Mole, Rick Bennesley after his earlier incident. 22nd, Dusan Magyar, Zander Hunzig, Nicholas Wicklander, Richard Venema, Nick Campbell, Sam Cockayne, Rui Dennis, Arben Nushi at last circulating. Fonsond, Santiago Caru have retired, and we've lost Ladislav Babarak to the connection. And Sonal Alpha as well, also gone. So down to just 30 now. He's looking tight in the dark. It's bad enough in the light. Four-way battle. Just over a second covering all four. Paskin, Kunt, Barraclough, Britton. Go on board with Jim Britton, you can see what it's like from his point of view. 3 cars in front of him, Barraclough, Kunt and Paskin respectively. This by far the closest battle on the track. Just slightly doing something. I saw the incident between Paskin. What was this earlier on? Oh no, it was there, wasn't it? It was through the chase. Sorry, I was on the wrong camera. Let's try that one. Try that again so we can see. Paskin on the inside, rubbing it with Jim. So possible contact between Jack Camaretto car number 3. I'm trying to work out who car number 3 is. Oh wow, he got off lucky there. Venema into the wall, Jack brushing him, manages to keep it together and goes through. It didn't hurt Jack's race too much. He's still in 9th. It's his job, Barraclough behind Jim Britton now. Right, couldn't obviously made an error or something happened. He's 2.6 off the back of this battle now. Paskin, Britton, Barraclough. Carry on their fight. tyres are Deprataire, Beyer, Bulcke, Horvath, Fillingham, Dhoore, Bosman, Camiletto, Paskin. All of those, with the exception of Jack Camiletto, yet to stop. Or rather, yet to make their final stop. Camiletto has been in. Sparks kicked up in the night as they go through there. But if this wasn't a challenge enough as already, look at this. This is almost in the pitch black now. These three are not going to know that they've been in a race after this. Robert Horvath makes his final stop. Comes in the pits from 6th position. Fillingham and Dhoore past him. So Horvath makes his final stop. There goes David Dhoore through. Some 7 seconds ahead of him. Si Fillingham also through, moving up the field. Where will Horvath go? Mark Bosman also in the pits. Makes his stop. AM Championship looking pretty tasty. Tommy Coston has slipped back a bit down there in 17th. He's 10 seconds behind Arella. Dhoore goes through in 6th. Where's Robert Horvath come out? There is Horvath. Looks like he's in 12th. Actually behind James Mead. There goes Mead. There goes Horvath. And Kuntz also in the pits. So to give you some idea, James Mead some 27 seconds behind Camiletto. Oh, big crash. Big crash for Robert Horvath there. Was it Horvath? I think it was Horvath. Just looked up and saw a car clatter in the wall. Maybe not Horvath. Maybe some apologies, Robert. That wasn't you. Definitely saw somebody smash into the wall. But obviously not Robert. He's still continuing. Everybody separated by a fair gap at the moment. So you just have to watch headlights flying around a black screen at the moment because there's not much happening. Should we go on board with somebody? Let's go on. We haven't been on board with Amadeo ever yet, so let's do that. See what it's like for a leader cutting through some back markers and the perils that it brings. Sounding absolutely superb. Oh, I'd love one of those on my driveway. And the advert they did with literally just the V10 engine starting up and the noise it made, that was the whole soundtrack of the advert. God, I love that. Fell in love with this car from that. By the time I can afford them though, they'll all have been ram raided and God knows what, so probably never be able to get my hands on one. But God, they sound amazing. Hey Nate, good to see you in chat. Give you a rundown what's happened so far. So we had Amadeo Nick in pole position under the checkered flag for in qualifying from James Mead by a couple of hundredths, and then unfortunately at the first corner that meant so much. James Mead in second, ever such a slight tag from Deprataire, just spun him round, and then all chaos ensued behind him. And James Mead at one point down in 33rd has made his way back up to currently 11th and has made his full allocation of pit stops. Having a great drive, probably my driver of the day if it wasn't for the performance of this man you're watching at the moment. And De Kaiser has been absolutely, well, I say absolutely faultless. One mistake, but I think we're allowed him that in 2 hours. Driving the mountain at night, a little bit unfair to expect utter perfection. Deprataire currently in second. Max Beyer has been driving the GTR like he stole it in third. Cliff Bulcke in fourth. Fillingham fifth. Dhoore Cametto again made his full allocation of stops in seventh. Britton, Paskin, and Bathurst in the pits for his final stop of the race in 10th, as he looks to take the lead in the AM Championship. There's a couple of laps there. Amadeo De Kaiser. Give you a time as he crosses the line. That was a 2:02.8, so with 35 minutes to go, still in the 2:02s regularly from the leader. Concentration absolutely on the limit. Nobody within 2 seconds of each other, unfortunately, at the moment, guys, so I haven't got a lot of action to show. Do you know what? I lied. Nicholas Wicklander down there in 25th has got the rather battered NSX of Richard Vanema behind him in 26th. All the headlights flickering, so they've obviously both seen some action. Vanema gets past Wicklander. Nicholas deciding discretion is the better part of valour. Just wants to bring that car home nice and safe. Privateer Wicklander, no team for him, so I'm sure the parts will actually cost him money if he damages it. So making sure that Ferrari can come home in the best condition possible. So Vanema passes Wicklander for 25th. Those two currently the closest on track. There's currently 9 laps between the leader and the still circulating Arbon new sheet down there in 30th. Well, while there's not much to watch, shall we go through a few of the replays, see what you can see from incidents and accidents. Cars number 37 and 4, that's Ian Paskin and Barak Kunt. We've already seen this one. There's nothing happened since then. We saw this one earlier, didn't we? Wow. I suppose if the cars are so far apart, nothing will happen with it. We saw that. Contact between cars 131 and 419. That's Nick Wicklander. I'm not sure who 419 is. In fact, I think 419 is out of the race. Is that Nick Campbell, maybe? Oh, wow, that's a high-speed one. Wicklander just catching the curb and flying it round. Trevor, look at that one. That looks pretty epic, that, doesn't it? Board with Wicklander, looks to the inside. Oh yeah, just caught the curb and then woof, round he went. As Wicklander starts catching Vanema again. Max has got the gap, oh, sideways. Max has got the gap down to Deprataire to 1.6. And there's Deprataire. Is he stuck in traffic maybe? It's one of the smooth sailing Bentleys it looks like. There's Max's view of those two chasing down the hill. So in the headlights in the distance, Max can see his prey. And the grizzly Nissan is feeling hungry. Top 6 yet to stop, or for their final stop. How will this shake out? Camaletto made all his stops. Mead has made all his stops. So Bentley moves aside for Max. Just in the distance he can see Deprataire. He gets out his fishing rod, casts a hook towards him. Hopes he can pull that Nissan in. Gap's extended slightly to 2.2. So Blanzy comes in for his final stop. What other incidents did we have in the race today? Let's have a look. Car 108 and 903. Who is that? 983 is Sev Lansley. Let's have a look at that one. Oh, 4 cars all together. Okay. I think as time goes on, ACC's timing gets a little bit out. So those early instants might well be too much to see. Anyway, interesting why it lasted. That Nicola Whitlander accident was a pretty hilarious one. Not hilarious for the guy he hit, which I think was Nick Campbell. Is Walt Graves still going around? No, it was Walt Graves in fact. Nick Campbell still circulating. Walt Graves unfortunately out of the race. Mick, just jump in, man, if you're there.
Hey, Mark.
Just turn your volume up a little bit, mate. Or see if I can turn it up on Discord. Input.
That better?
Go again.
Is that better?
That's a little bit better, mate. Yeah, good to hear you. How you doing?
Not too well, not too well. Well, in terms of racing. I don't know what happened. My steering wheel turned off in the formation lap.
Oh no, not you. Happened to other people. Oh wow.
And well, it rebooted, got going again, but I lost force feedback. So then I started in last, out of position, and tried to do the first lap, but yeah, that wasn't going to last the full 2 hours without force feedback on this
Oh
track,
no,
so
that's hard to do.
yeah, so I parked it just to to be safe. But yeah, spotting for Robert now, and we'll see if he can gain some position still.
He's doing all right, your boy, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's on a two tire stop strategy, so I think he's the only one. Maybe with James, who's doing that, but he was involved in a crash.
Yeah.
So let's see if he can. Yeah.
Oh, big crash, Jack Camaletto into the wall.
Was just going to say if he can get close to Jack.
Oh. And he must have wrecked his car because he's escaped to the pits there. what happened there. Or was there a contact? Possible contact? Oh, that's earlier on. So Jack in the wall. Unfortunately, that good finish looks like that's going to come to an end. Sorry, Miguel, just saw that in the yellow flag come out.
No worries. I'm just having a look at the crash from Jack, see if I can find it. Oh yeah, he completely lost it over the mountain.
Yeah.
And then just parked it. So. Shame after 1.5 hours.
It is, man. After that kind of reliability as well, it's been pretty consistent throughout the whole race. Suddenly got sound as well. Sound's gone right up. Apologies if that's deafening you.
I'm looking forward to see if Max can get close to P2. I guess they'll all splash and dash. Top 6.
Yeah, those top 6.
The question will be when, so we'll see.
So, David Deprataire, Beyer, Bulcke, Fillingham, Dhoore, Britton, Mead. Mead, the first one of the drivers that have made all their stops. Horvath, we saw, has made his rather, with Miguel's help, I'm sure. Ralf Arella there in 10th, Bulcke 11th. Bathurst still fighting with Bulcke, some 4 tenths behind. Let's go have a look at those two again. We'll buy each other a drink after this, I'm sure. Got to say, it's been excellent racing from Bulcke, Jody Barraclough. Paskin must have an issue. He's about 10 seconds behind now in 14th after leading these guys around. Still we go, 23 minutes to go. Top 7, as Miguel has just said, yet to stop. And just be for that last splash of fuel. Just going to make sure they nail their pit stops. And the car has got 11 seconds to make any errors to be clear of Deprataire's. Barraclough looks on the outside. And down the straight of Bulcke. Has he got the pace? It looks like he might have. They're going to go side by side. And Barraclough's through. So Jody Barraclough up to 11th now, down to 12th. As they go through, 45 laps gone, 46 laps gone, onto lap 47. Right, 10 more to go, 22 minutes remaining. Clough starting to pull away from the McLaren. Cement that 11th position. He's got 15 seconds to find on Arella if he wants to catch him. As we've seen, anything can happen, and that's probably already, to be fair. Christian Groot 2 seconds behind Manojlovic in 17th. As he pressures Nemanja for that position. Teammate Marvin Mackenberg in 15th. Last time round at the top 7, with the exception of Cy Fillingham, who just outside, all in the 202s, Finningham with a 2:03.0. So even at this stage of the race, in these conditions, pace is relentless. De Keyser, Deprataire, Beyer, Bulcke, Fillingham, Dhoore, Britton. 07. Just waiting for those to pop in, get their last splash of fuel and go.
And as we know, it's a difficult pit entry, so let's see if no one gets it wrong.
Yeah, it's so tight, and also that corner comes up a lot quicker than you think it's going to at the knuckle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go and have a jump on with the leader. Goes through to complete another lap. Deprataire behind him through as well, as does Max Beyer. Max about 4 seconds off the back of Bram now, in third. There's a gap back then of 13 seconds to Cliff Bulcke, so Max has really extended after getting past Cliff earlier on. Cy Finningham 10 seconds off the back of Cliff Bulcke in 5th. And David Dhoore, who seems to have always been about 5 seconds behind somebody in this race, in 6th. And a big gap then back to Jim Britton in 7th. I say big, we're talking 30 seconds or so. So the top 6 and possibly James Mead will be involved in the finish. I should imagine Jim will drop back somewhere around Arella and Barraclough after his stop. Still 30 cars circulating, that's why it's such a busy track. Fortunately, on a 2-minute lap, it does give them time to space out a little bit. Although at times, if we've seen, the back markers have been all over the place for some of these drivers, trying to avoid them. But now we're into the middle of the night. Looks like it's settled down. De Keyser comes through again. Completes lap 49 and on to lap 50. Deprataire got the gap down now to under 10 seconds. Further back in the field, Mark Bosman and Ian Paskin are getting close. It's Bosman there, going through the quarry in turn 2. Behind him, Paskin in the McLaren. These guys fighting it out for 13th position. Let's go on board with Ian. Haven't been on board with anybody for a while.
Bram just went straight in the S's, but
Oh wow.
nothing major. He got lucky.
I took the shortcut through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So concentration starting to flag maybe. They've been at this for an hour and 3/4, plus the qualifying time as well. They've been sat in these cars for well over 2.5 hours now with everything else. Just 15 or so minutes to go. Britton comes in for his stop, as does Mackenberg.
I think Mackenberg had a crash. I think he's out of the race.
There's Mackenberg's car sat on the jacks in the pits. Drops it down. Not moving. We'll keep an eye on Marvin Mackenberg. Meantime, Deprataire. He's the car. Sorry. The Kaiser leads Deprataire by 10 seconds. Just picked up the pace again. Dao. He continues on his way. Manojlovic and Christian Groot. That's it. Manojlovic in front there with the bright yellow flashes on his car. Christian Groot in 16th. Coastal and Binnersley also at it in 18th and 19th. Finally, getting into the race, and some of the guys are picking up the pace. Still, top few yet to stop. Guys at Deprataire, Beyer, Bulcke and Fillingham and Dhoore still to have that final splash of fuel. That tries to pressure Nemanja Manojlovic. To come down the Conrod straight. Nice drive. Oh, big crash! Big crash. Manojlovic survives. Christian Groot does a 360, pulls it back together. Only a little brush between the two of them, just unsettled the cars, and then all hell took place. A little bit like the Wicklander incident earlier, although that was a little bit more violent. But this time, Christian Groot slips down, and Camaletto on his way back through the field tries around the outside at turn 1 and continues his chase back up the field. Camaletto currently down there in 25th position, 2 laps down, in fact 3 laps down on the leader now. Instant for Ruud Dennis further down the field. So he's gone wide through Skyline, and his Nissan struggles through the dipper. To continue on, not a great race for Ruud this time round, down there in 29th position, 5 laps down off the leader. But continuing, meanwhile up front, someone dobs into the pits then, I don't know who that was. I don't think it was one of the leaders though, as that's Kaiser goes through again. Completes lap 52 onto 53. Deprataire follows him through in second. Max Beyer goes through in third. That is Deprataire in the background, you can just see, and that's Beyer going through as well. So 1, 2, 3 through. There's Cliff Bulcke, there he is. He's gone straight past the pits as well, so he's continuing on. So Fillingham behind him, on to another lap in 5th, and also David Dhoore as well. So front 6 still continue on. Smash and dash strategy for those 6. James Mead 40 seconds behind David Dhoore in 7th. So, depending on the pit stop time, good recovery drive from James Mead after that first corner incident. Binnersley and Kosonen back at it again. There's Kosonen in the Ferrari, Binnersley in that tic-tac BMW just behind. Here's the view from Binnersley's BMW. Dirt kicked up by the car in front of Kosonen. It's the battle for 18th. Over the crest. And towards turn 2. Binnersley feints on the inside. Oh! Couldn't get it stopped in time. Gives Kosonen a kiss and a cuddle. But they continue on. No harm done. There's a blue flag waving for somebody. Not sure who it's for. Who's behind them? As Kosonen brushes the wall. Looks like an Audi behind. Is that Deprataire? No, De Keyser been in the pits. No, he hasn't. De Keyser must have had an incident somewhere, because he's suddenly in 3rd position, still to make a stop. So, De Keyser somewhere has had a massive incident and lost loads of time. He was 10 seconds ahead, remember, of Bram Deprataire. He's now about 10 seconds behind him. So 20 seconds lost. What happened to Amadeo De Keyser? There's no crash by the looks of it. His number is clear on the incident reports. But that's massive. 10 minutes to go. De Keyser, who has been impeccable literally all race, now finds himself 10 seconds behind Deprataire in the lead and Beyer in 2nd. All to play for now all of a sudden.
I just found the incident.
Yeah.
Just lost it getting onto the power. Going through the what is it, the dipper,
Right.
and then he had to reverse back across the track. And he got going again, so yeah, just behind Max now, but lost it just on traction, old tires.
So there we go. As you said, Miguel, taking 2 sets of tyres may have been the way forward today.
Yeah, Robert was just a bit unlucky with traffic. Might have, I think after his first stop, he just came out behind. It was Lansley and Mackenberg, I think.
Right.
And it was a question of 3-4 seconds. If you would have been in front, it would have been an all different race. But
Yeah.
it's always something.
Yep, indeed. So there's Deprataire just going through the cutting. Just 7 minutes to go. All comes down to that final pit stop.
Yeah.
Who can nail it? Deprataire, Beyer, De Keyser. Even Cliff Bulcke, 13 seconds off the back of De Keyser, but he's still got to think he's got a chance. And remember, there is still that steward's inquiry over that first corner incident. So that will come out in the hours and days to come. All Bram can do is lead by as much as he can, and he's doing that at the moment. 6.4 ahead of Beyer in 2nd. And a further 10 seconds back to Amadeo De Keyser in 3rd. Last lap 2:07. Got to feel there's some damage to that Audi.
Yeah, he just lost 2.5 seconds in the last lap.
Yeah.
So he's struggling now. Could be a chance for Cliff.
So Bram goes on, another lap completed. Just 3 more laps to go. Deprataire, Beyer, De Keyser, Bulcke, Fillingham, Dhoore. Those 6 yet to make their splash and dash. And James Mead 40 seconds off the back of David Dhoore, so you've got to feel that's going to be his finishing position unless, in fact, Bulcke and Fillingham in for their stops. There is Fillingham. Bulcke just ahead of him.
Very quick one from Cliff.
Cliff's out and away. Where will Fillingham come out? There goes Bulcke past Fillingham. Fillingham drops off the jacks, he's away. So those two make their way out of the pits. Where's James Mead? Just coming through the final corner. And Fillingham is away up the straight. So that's the gap between those. About 10 seconds between Fillingham in 6th and Mead in 7th. Deprataire, Beyer, De Keyser and Dhoore still yet to stop. Here's your leader, Bram Deprataire, coming down the Conrod. This lap and 2 more to go. Will you leave it to the last possible lap? Will you throw it in this time? Stays left, no. No, moves over to the right. He's going to do another lap. He'll be next time round. For Deprataire. Needs another lap. 56 gone. Deprataire, Beyer, De Keyser, Dhoore. Bulcke and Fillingham, Mead, Horvath all made their stops now. 5, 6, 7, 8. Arella and Britton bring out the top 10. Jody Barraclough, it seems like he's won that battle with Burak Kunt now. He's some 6 seconds ahead of Burak in 11th. Burak 12th, sorry. Bosman 13th. Paskin down there in 14th. Milanovic, Gruta, Moll, Kosonen, Binnersley, Sev Lansley, Dusan Magyar 21st. Venema, Wacky Teddy, Marvin Mackenberg, Jack Camaletto, after doing so well for an hour and a half. Wrecked the car at Forest Elbow. Nick Campbell 26th, Nicholas Wicklander 27th, Dennis 28th, Cocaine 29th, Arbanushi your last man in 30th. So De Keyser in for his stop. Or is he? Or has he just had another incident, I wonder?
No, he's just gone out of the pits.
Oh, okay. He's still showing orange on his stop, that was all.
Yeah, he is. Oh, that can be drama. It was very quick. Maybe it didn't take... I don't know if you need to take a minimum amount of fuel.
Yeah, we had this in a race, I think it was at Zandvoort, with Camaletto and Pavlicek, where they stopped for fuel and went. Didn't actually register on the game, but it did. You could see on the stream they stopped for fuel and went up on the jack. So I wonder if the same things happened to Amadeo De Keyser there.
Possibly.
But whatever, this race has gone to pot in the last 15 minutes or so. I'm sure we'll hear about it after the race, what actually happened, but Deprataire in the pits for his final stop. Max Beyer follows him through. This will be the last stop and then one more lap to the flag. Dhoore will come in behind, I'm sure, as well. Dhoore just going through the chase. He'll pop into the pits as well. So Dhoore ducks left down pit road. Meanwhile, there's Beyer off the jacks.
Oh.
Deprataire and him pull out straight together. Oh wow, this is going to be interesting. What a lap. What a final lap we've got on our hands here. Let's go on board with Max Beyer. The leader, Bram Deprataire, literally in front of him. Almost touching distance. Can Max...
The is quick.
And Nissan tight onto the wall. Right on the back now, Deprataire. Almost bump drafting through the mountain. Pressure like you wouldn't know. Oh, the Nissan just getting a bit squirrely through there. Keeps it together. All Deprataire's got to do is make that Audi as wide as he can for another minute. Good drive off the final court, off the elbow rather, from Deprataire. That's probably sealed it for him. 3 more corners and the chase, if you can call that a corner. Well, Nicholas Whitlander can call it a corner. Here we go. Through here, right. Deprataire, Beyer. The Kaiser has come in again and stopped. That's pushed him down to 7th. But round the final corner, Deprataire wins at Bathurst for WRT. Great drive from Max Beyer there in 2nd. Threw everything at that. Comes home in 2nd. Cliff Bulcke some 30 seconds behind those two. What amazing final lap that was. Coming out the pits side by side, Beyer and Deprataire. Cliff Bulcke's going to bring it home in 3rd. Final step on the podium. Nice drive, Cliff Bulcke. Well done. Bulcke comes home in 3rd. Just behind him, you can see there, Cy Fillingham, the Team 77. That's a cracking performance from him there in 4th. Picking up some good points here. James Mead, what a recovery drive from him in 5th. David Dhoore crosses the line in 6th. And then the unfortunate Amadeo De Kaiser is going to come home in 7th with the race at his fingertips with just 15 minutes to go. Parks it up. Horvath comes home in 8th, teammate of Miguel in the commentary box here with me. Ralf Arella's going to come home in 9th. That didn't look like happening earlier on. That's a good race from Ralf Arella in the end. Good points haul for Team 77 there. Jim Britton coming down under the Liquimoli Bridge through Murray's Corner, and he's going to come across the line and round out your top 10. Nice racing from Jim. Jody Barraclough brings home 11. Nice race from John. That's going to be good points all for him in the AM Cup. He's going to get the beers out for Burak Kunt. He's going to come home in 12th. Had a good race for him all race. Bosman's going to come home in 13th to keep that point challenge up on Barraclough in the AM Cup. Paskin comes home in 13th, just behind him, and they were the only 13 on your lead lap. Behind them, Mole, Kosonen, Grueta, Lansley, Manojlovic, Hunzig, Wacky Teddy. Camletto managed to get home in 20th in the end. Mackenberg 21st, continuing. Campbell, Cocaine, Von Sand did not finish. And they're all entering or exiting out the server now, so we won't know what's happened there. So, Miguel, what do you think about that last lap?
Bathurst always delivers something special in the final lap for some odd reason.
Doesn't it just? That was incredible. Immense.
But many congratulations to all the finishers. It's really a real test. So
Deprataire and Beyer bringing home 1st and 2nd, as they did. Don't forget last time out at Kyalami. There De Kaiser was 3rd. Not this time round. This time round, great racing. And Cliff Bulcke manages to bring home that 3rd. And there they go, on to the Jacks and the server's going to close. So let's find the replay. We'll set that going. Multiplayer highlights, there we go. See the start here. That incident between Deprataire and James Mead. Saw it on the stream. If you weren't with us, this is what happened. Into turn 1, Mead on the outside just gets tagged by Deprataire in 2. Mead rightly holds the brakes as you should do, and then all chaos ensues behind. Not really much we can do about that, unfortunately, but there we go. That's what happened at turn 1. What's that doing over there? Right. Better. So Deprataire by a bulk, there your top 3. 2 hours into the night at Bathurst. I'm as knackered as they are probably, but I don't think so. Ooh. That would have been hard work, and they're all going to be sweaty. After that, I'm surprised if we get anyone in the commentary box. They'd be straight for a drink and into the shower, I should imagine. So we'll just let the replay play out for you. Oh, James Mead's coming into the commentary box. So hello, mate.
Hello, good evening, guys.
What a recovery drive from you.
Yeah, that was a bit sweaty to say the least, but had to make the most of what I could because it's been very up and down this season for me so far. So yeah, I wanted to stick at it and see how far I could get up.
So without name call or anything like that, what was your view on that first corner incident then?
I mean, I don't know. I felt like I moved a little bit, but I was expecting, to be honest, I was expecting him to back out and we'll just go line astern. So it was probably just a bit of miscommunication. I probably could have left a bit more room. I haven't looked at it yet, but it happens.
I think you described it exactly.
I know he's
right?
A clean driver. It's no harsh thing. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, it was literally the slightest of taps, and it just spun your car. But it was exactly as you described it. You could have left room, but you didn't really need to. He could have backed out, but didn't, and you know that's what happens. But as you say, any other day it would have been a little brush, and you'd have carried on. It just so happened that it just took the rear of your car and turned it round. But what a great drive to come back! I'm really impressed with that, man. Must say.
Thank you. It's the only one apart from the first lap incidents, the first one in RRL, I haven't actually completely obliterated the car in. So, I mean, getting tapped at turn 1 has to benefit for something, right?
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, you spent a bit of while in the pits as well. Did you take some damage there, I guess, as well?
Yeah. I think I had about 20-odd seconds damage. So, thought I'd just repair that. I'll take a bit of fuel and then do one more pit stop about halfway through and just see how far I can go.
Yeah. I didn't really. I just saw you down there in like 30th, something like that. And I just thought that was it. You were down and out, and then the next minute you just started climbing. And when I saw you'd also done the pit stops as well, I was like, wow, this is, you could be in for something here. And as it was, yes, I say, it was a decent finish in the end.
Yeah, I was shocked to be alongside Dhoore when he came out of the pits, and obviously something must have happened to De Keyser, which I didn't realise. I think it was him. Someone dropped down to P7 anyway, which shocked me. So yeah, I was actually looking and thinking P7, P8 might be on the cards, and then to get P5 was. Yeah, I wasn't expected. Didn't
very nice
expect
surprise
to get those.
So I'm sure if you had a driver of the day vote, mate, you might be close up there.
Oh well, I'll take that anyway.
But thanks for dropping in the commentary box, James. I'm sure you're very sweaty, so you need a drink. So I'll let you go and sort yourself out, mate. But really, congratulations. That was a cracking drive.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for your hard work and everything as well, mate.
Oh, cheers, man. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
See you later.
Take care, man. So James Mead, cracking drive from him. Finishing 5th. Barak Kunt's in the commentary box, but he's got his mic off, so when he's ready to talk, we'll have a chat with Barak. just watching the highlights here. Coasting on Molovic, and now on to Magyar and Molt.
Hello?
Barak?
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Another interesting race for you, wasn't it? I think you were involved in everything again tonight.
Yeah, trouble never leaves me, man. I'm always always in trouble.
Always in trouble, but you always seem to have really interesting races. You always seem to be like fighting with one or two particular people all race. I think it was Jody Barraclough today you were involved with most of the time as well.
Yeah, indeed. Hats off to Jody, because he was letting me know that he was behind me, but he was not overtaking me. He was not pushing too much. And that made me realize that later on in the race that if he is still quicker than me, I will just let him pass. There's no point in holding him up. And that's actually what happened. And respect to him. He made me feel safe and really comfortable behind me.
Yeah, it seems like that midfield group, there's you, there's Jody, I think there's a few more you've been battling with recently, Ian Paskin as well. All you guys seem to have like this understanding with each other that, you know, you're all going to drive safely and drive hard, but you all seem to be able to get away with it without having too many incidents.
Yeah, I agree. Well, in some way, some of the drivers are really aggressive still, but that's understandable. It's a race. Come on.
Yeah.
So, but I'm always on the back side. I always need some time to get into my race, and today as well, I needed some time. And after I picked up the pace, I was able to, I think, follow some of the names you mentioned. I had luck because I only took one tire.
Right.
And I repaired, I think, 2 seconds of damage. And after my second pit stop, I was in front of Paskin and Bosman.
Oh yeah, Mark Bosman. Yeah.
Bosman was about 10 seconds in front of me. And after the pit stop, he was behind me. So I had quite some luck there.
But you're enjoying the series so far, man. It's good. You're a great addition to this series, I have to say. It's been really fun having you in.
Thank you, man. I feel welcomed. I feel accepted, and I know I'm a clean racer. I make my mistakes, of course, like everyone. But I really enjoy the series myself as well. I haven't been racing for a long time in league races, and this it feels good to be back.
Yeah, I must admit, mate, it's been great having you along in RRL. A fantastic addition, and like you say, nice and safe and challenging. As long as you're having fun, mate, that's the main thing. We're only here for fun at the end of the day, so as long as you're doing that, that's the main thing.
I agree. Well, thanks for your work, man. Thank you so much.
No, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Barak. I say it's really good to have you along, man. So thanks for that, and congratulations on tonight. Good drive.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And next one along, Mr. Fillingham. What a race, man.
Whew. Yeah, thanks, Martin.
Time you pulled your finger out.
At last it came together, yes. And the cost of others, perhaps, at turn one, but well, that's racing, I suppose. I've just got to take it. It's happened to me a few times in the past, so yeah.
Yeah, I know, you say that, man, but it takes something to go 2 hours. And I don't think, did you have many incidents at all? I didn't see anything where you done anything particularly wrong.
No, not particularly. Had a bit of a power slide coming out of turn one late on, but no, fairly steady race, thankfully. I'm under a lot of pressure throughout from the likes of Jack, Max, David towards the end was really putting the pressure on, but managed to nail my last pit stop and just brought it home nicely.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. See you up there in fourth. And there's some. No disrespect to you, there's some really quick guys out there, but to you bring it home in fourth was amazing, man. And your teammate as well brought it home in the top 10 as well, which didn't look like that was going to happen at some point. So
we really love driving here, and we do many laps, so we had the rhythm. It was just a case of avoiding incidents and getting set in that rhythm. And unfortunately Ralf got caught up in that turn one incident, but adjusted his strategy and P9 in the end was sounds like you had a great drive to there.
Yeah, well, I know this is the one you're waiting for, and I'm glad you did yourself justice, man. So
yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to race here and to finish just outside the podium. Well, that was great too. So yeah, really pleased with tonight's drive.
Good, man. I'm so pleased for you as well. I know you've been waiting for a decent one for a while, so I'm really chuffed for you.
Yeah, cheers. Let's hope it's the catalyst of things to come in the final 2 rounds at Imola,
Indeed,
and then a
mate.
Spa.
I bet that you go and get a drink and a shower because you must be absolutely screwed after that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tense affair in the last 20 minutes, especially as I say with David catching. But yeah, kept it together, and yeah, I'll go grab a drink and a jump in the old shower.
Just before you go, is it the physicalities of it, or is it the mental stress that does you more?
The mental side, really, especially the heat and in VR was getting to me after 2 hours, but I could feel the sweat dribbling down my forehead and whatever. But no, it was the pressure of David catching a few tenths every lap, which was making me think. And the more you think, the more you put your tyres just that little bit out of where they should be.
Well, that's it. After 1 hour and 55 minutes of concentration, and you've got that as well going on in the background, it's
yeah, it's
a lot for the brain.
It's a test that we all love. So yeah, that's why we do it. So
if you get to sleep before 2 o'clock, mate, let me know.
Only after I've watched the stream.
All right, mate. Enjoy, and congratulations, as I say. Well done.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks for everything you do. Cheers. Bye-bye.
You're welcome, man. Take care.
Cheers.
So Cy Finningham there after his fantastic performance to come home in 4th in the 77 BMW. Got some good points for the team, and that's going to drag them right back up the championship, especially with the unfortunate Jack Camaletto having his accident at Forest Elbow and absolutely torching the car. Paradigm Shift points haul will not be great this round. No Pavlicek, of course. Yeah, quite a few hard luck stories and quite a few success stories as well. I'm sure I want to know what happened to Amadeo De Kaiser, but we will discuss that, I'm sure, in the next stream in 2 weeks' time, which comes to you from, I believe, Imola. I better get this right. I'm sure it's Imola. It is Imola on the 6th, sorry, around 6 on the 20th of November. 90-minute race, back to normal. 1 mandatory pit stop. So join us in 2 weeks' time, around 7:30 UK time, 8:30 CET. Join us for that in 2 weeks' time. The story of the GT3 Masters, which will rumble on and on until I'm sure the final round at Spa in a month's time. So much more to give this series when it's given so much already. Excitement right till the end. Even today, that last lap between Bram and Max coming out the pit side by side after their splash and dash to go 1 lap at it was really something to behold. So look forward to that. We're just watching the end of the highlights now. I'm going to let you finish watching the highlights. I'm going to sign off. Thanks all for you for watching. If you haven't liked it already, I don't know why not, but please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Don't forget the bell's there, so when we go live next time, you'll get a notification straight to your phone, tablet, PC, wherever, to let you know we've gone live, like we did this evening rather, a little bit early, just to get a bit of the atmosphere around the mountain. You click that bell, you'll get the notification to let you know we've gone live. If you're watching it after, as we just watched that big accident there we saw live on the stream between Christian Grota and Nemanja Milanovic, join us live, you'll get all that up front and personal. But as it is, thanks again for watching, appreciate you all. If you're watching this and you're one of the drivers, congratulations wherever you come. 2 hours driving around there, doesn't matter where you come. If you finished, many congratulations. And see you in 2 weeks in Imola. Take care, guys, and have the rest of a good week. Cheers now.